Realtor Party grants are a phenomenal tool and a resource that local and state associations have access to that allows them and enables them to engage communities in really new and unique and exciting ways. The Boise Regional Realtors utilize these grant funds to partner with the City of Boise so that we could conduct what we called a walk shop. For us to address walkability, we came up with a WalkShop concept, which is a combination of a workshop and a walk audit. And by combining those two principles and those two concepts together with collaboration from key stakeholders such as our neighborhood associations, local businesses, elected officials, and residents in the area, we were able to focus our attention and our efforts and discussion on Orchard Street, which was our area of focus. With our elected officials and our stakeholders who were present, we literally went out to the street and walked Orchard Corridor, and then after that broke into focus groups where we were able to discuss the needs and interests of that area and with our consultants work out possible solutions. And the great thing was that we capped it off by meeting with our elected officials before our city council and spoke to them and gave a presentation about what it was we found and the solutions that we had to some of the problems that the city was facing. After months of collaboration with the City of Boise planners, we were able to identify Orchard Street as the best place to receive these grant funds and the focus of our walk shop.
So Orchard is one of those streets that was widened in a way that is actually the most unsafe way. It's got 4 lanes and no center turn lane. It's got attached sidewalks. That means that every car movement has to look for conflicts both behind them, a rear end conflict, as well as in 2 lanes if they're turning, for instance. And so the car safety on a corridor like that is really quite low and can be improved actually by taking lanes away and adding space for turning movements and those kinds of things. In addition, it doesn't have any bike facilities, and without bike facilities, those outside lanes become the place where bike riders ride, but because of all the other conflicts I just talked about, it can be really dangerous for bicyclists because cars will dart into that outside lane to go around someone in the left lane who's turning, for instance, and that can be really dangerous. And then for pedestrians, those attached sidewalks right next to a rather narrow 4-lane corridor, and they're not very wide themselves. Most of them that do exist are only 5 feet wide, are really a dangerous place to be. They're uncomfortable, they're unattractive, but they're also dangerous because they're so close to that moving traffic. In addition to all those things, the sidewalk facilities are not continuous. There's lots of gaps in them, lots of places where you don't have a good connection to the crosswalk, for instance. And so you add all those together and it's an unsafe corridor for all users. Probably the thing that's missing the most, and I think the walk shop showed this, was some gathering spaces, a little bit of green space here and there that people can take respite in. Those are missing for the most part, but hopefully as a result of this we can begin looking at where those could be added in.
There were a number of positive things that came out of this walk shop. One of them is we started a very important conversation about the direction of Orchard Street. For years, that's been on the radar for our city planners as something that needs attention and focus, but we weren't really sure where to start. And what we did is we started the conversation. We brought in collaboration between stakeholders, between the elected officials, between the city planners, the businesses, the residents, the neighborhood associations, and others that were able to participate in our walk shop. We were able to start something that is really important component moving forward. We were also able to identify lighter, quicker, cheaper solutions that we can employ over the next 90 days in our first year. Some examples of that would be having curb extensions that are painted and having walkways with flags on it that would allow people to cross the street more safely, among a lot of other cool and creative ideas that we came up with. So for us, moving forward, we're going to continue to include the stakeholders, and we're also going to work with local businesses to form a business alliance for the Orchard Street so that they too can be a part of our conversation. All in all, it's going to be a collaborative effort moving forward, and we're excited to see the results. Orchard Street is a great candidate for a number of smart growth principles, such as creating a walkable neighborhood and fostering a distinctive, attractive community with a strong sense of place, strengthen and direct development towards existing communities, provide a variety of transportation choices, and encourage community and stakeholder collaboration in development decisions. We're incredibly appreciative of the funds we received from the National Association of Realtors. Without those grant funds, none of this would have been possible. It allowed us to start a conversation and open up doors we otherwise wouldn't have been able to. So thank you.